Okay. We left off after verse 14, I think, last night. I'm guessing, I think I'm right. And Matthew 24, and this is 15. And what we have in our English is, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by the prophet stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. And that's in parentheses, so that probably wasn't in the original Greek on that one. I can't remember. I don't think it was. But what I got when I looked at it, what I got was, when you therefore see the litany of verbal attacks or a criticism of the desolation, saying that through Daniel the prophet, these are now in the holy place, recognize the meaning. That's kind of weird, isn't it? It's like an attack of symbolic meaning about this. It's like the community talking about it, and we hear that all the time. That's all they talk about is the abomination of desolation. When is it going to happen? I was trying to think if there's anything else on this card I wanted to mention. I don't think so. And it can also be a horror, also, as well as an abomination. It's kind of what it means. A horrific thing or an act. So, with you mentioning Daniel, you pretty much kind of go that direction. Let's see, where am I at? Oh, I hate this part. Trying to find the other side of the card. When I record these for video, I can blow it real large, but I can't do it and show it to y'all on the screen. Kind of makes it a little bit touchy to do it, but I can do it. Hopefully we get to some of this really part that will be real interesting tonight. I think we will. Where is it? Golly gosh darn, I just messed that up. 15. Okay, there we are. That should be... Okay, this is when I checked the Latin on 15. Did I skip a card? Nope. Okay. What I got in that was, when you therefore you see the abomination desolation which was spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, he that readeth, let him understand. But also in the Latin was really strange, because it can be a video of it too, which I thought was interesting. And then I came down and looked at 15 even closer, and it's like, with video abomination. This is Latin. Now, this is where I got this, is out of the Latin, not out of the Greek. With video abomination, which desolates one spoken of for God, the dicta is, God is my judge standing in the holy place, who understands truth. And this has literally kind of happened here in modern times, because Benedict reflected on his own legacy at the end of his letter, noting that at the end of his life he would soon be judged by God. Quite soon I shall find myself before the final judge of my life, he wrote. Even though I look back at my long life, I can have great reason for fear and trembling. I am nonetheless of good cheer, for I trust firmly that the Lord is not only the just judge, but also the friend and brother, who himself has already suffered for my shortcomings. See, he got caught in a scandal, and he's already apologized by video, just like it says in the Latin, in modern Latin. I thought that was wild. I even put a little cartoon about it, because they have cartoons out there about it on the card. Okay, this one's interesting too. This is verse 16, and it says, then let them which in the Judea flee into the mountains. Okay, and when I looked at this in the modern Greek, I was surprised. It was like, Then these in that day, the Jews or Judean, leaves safe by flight upon the Ora. And I thought, what is Ora? I go look Ora up online, and Ora is a relocation to and from Israel devoted to growing your business. It's like a relocation and global human resources company. They've been transporting people back and forth to Israel since 1994. I was like, wow. It's like, I can't believe these things come true. And Ora in Hebrew is a name given for males and females common, which means my light. So it can also mean my light. But I think it's very interesting that the transportation to get relocated back to Israel is called the Ora, just like it is in modern Greek in Matthew 24:16. This was a hard verse. 17, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. I looked and looked and looked at this verse, and let's see, what did I final? Yeah. He is on top of the dome, does not descend, or raise up a certain one from his house. And I decided that it had to do with ancient Rome and the domus on top of the Vatican. I think is what I finally came up with. But that was such a hard verse, it just did not make sense to me. Look back at it again. He on top of the domatos, or the dome, does not descend, yes, elevate a certain one from this house. It almost sounds like in Greek that it's going to be one elevated from that house, or from that place. Okay, in verse 18, we have, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Okay, and what I got when I looked at it was, and the one in the field does not turn back to take or curse his garment. Pretty interesting. And 19, and woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. And I got calamity of those who have in the womb and the breastfeeding days in those days. So it's pretty much almost identical. In verse 20, but pray that your flight not be in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. And what I got was, and pray that your exile or flight not come to pass in the storms or tempest upon a Sabbath or on the day of Saturn. That's what the modern would read. This one's pretty similar too. For then, this is verse 21. For then there will be great tribulation, such as not been from the beginning of the world until now, no, and never will be. What I got is, for then there will be great pressure, such as not even taken place or happened since the world began until now. No, it's never happened. So that was about the same. And then we already went over 24 about the word AI being in there. For people that are new tonight, I'm going to go back over that one since this is in order. It says, and unless those days be shortened, no flesh would survive those days, is what we had in the English. But when you go and look in the modern, did I not have it in there? I thought I did. I didn't. In the modern, right before days, both times in verse 24, you have the word AI. And I tried to figure out why they didn't translate. They just left it blank. And the only conclusion I could come to is they didn't know what to do with it, because a couple of things said that it didn't fit in the sentence, so they didn't translate it. but it would actually read, unless the AI days are cut short, no flesh would survive those AI days. And I was pretty amazed. I was like, wow. And you find the AI stuff in the other verses too. 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is the Christ, or there, believe him not. And what I got is, then if someone or a certain one says to you, what is here is the Christ, or as follows, do not believe him. It's like he's saying, if somebody's trying to tell you what's here is the Christ, don't believe him. Okay, this one was wild. Verse 24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, for insomuch as if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And this is wild because it's literally like false followers of, or followers of the false Christ, because it's like it was the Christians this term. And I was like, what? It's like when I was looking up and reading commentaries, they mentioned in one of the Bible commentaries that it was the word used for Christians. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. I mean, we've always been told that it was, false Christ, like a bunch of false Christ coming. And when I looked this up in the modern, it would read, for there will arise false followers of Christ and false prophets, and give a big, a jab point, even monsters, so that you are delusional, if possible, even the chosen. Can y'all see that? Because I don't know if I can say that word or not. Can y'all see it? That's what's in there. And the way I found that is it was used in first century as that. It was an old medical obsolete term, and it was made out of a bone with a pointed to a point, and they put the medicine in it and then stuck the person. Same thing. That's pretty wild. So they did have that around back then, and this other word for signs is actually monster in Greek. Terata is a monster, or monsters, it's plural. This is where I found it. I kept getting point in the translators, and that's why I kept looking and looking and looking. And I'm like, there's got to be something in the etymology of this thing. Uh-oh. Hang on, Trey. When I get done talking, then we're going to invite up for people to talk, so you're welcome to come up. Just give me a few minutes. But I couldn't believe that's what it was when I found it. And you can see right there it says medicine obsolete. But I kept getting point in all the translators. Like I got it in Bladderstar. I got it in Bing. I can't remember the other ones. But it's like if you just keep looking, you'll find this stuff. It's wild. Uh-oh. I'm getting my screen covered up. And this is the process I go through. It's like you put it in there, and it'll show you it's a plural, and it'll send you to the singular. And then from the singular, it'll show you all the possibilities. And when I look down there, mathematics came out a point, and since the translators all were giving me point, I hit that one to see what it was, and that's what it was. And it can also be a marker sign. And yeah, that's where I found it at. If anybody wants to write that down, that's where I found it. And I'm putting these videos up on the YouTube channel when I'm done, and then the completed 6-hour one is also up there. You can watch it, and you could probably see the cards better on it. I just wanted to give people a chance to comment on it and talk and all that. And we're just kind of reviewing it. Okay, this is, it's like, pseudo in Greek. When you say pseudo Christo, that is, the ones following the fake Christ, whatever. It's like, it means bearing a false name. They'll be bearing that name, and it's false, is what it meant. When I looked it up, I was like, wow, huh? And I found it in, because I wanted to give you where I found it. Project Gutenberg, still don't. Yeah, it's translated in the works of the Emperor Julian, Volume 1 of 2. It's translated as Christians. And then in the Truth According to the Scriptures, it's also translated as Christians in that book. Because I wanted to make dang sure about it when I found that. Okay. And there's the Bible commentary explaining that that it means exactly what I say it means. That was Robertson's Word Pictures in the New Testament Bible Commentary. And it's at the truthaccordingtoscriptures.com. 1 John 2. And the Latin text, when I checked out the Latin, confirms this, that the word Christi in Latin means a follower of Christ. So it was the fake followers of Christ. It's exactly what it meant. And there's like 1, 2, 3 times that it's translated as false followers of Christ in the Latin English version. And that was just more confirmation, because when I put it in Bladderstar, I kept coming up with false Christians, and I'm like, uh-oh. Okay, I think I went through some of this yesterday. That Christos is actually 666. Then all your major Latin terms in the Catholic Church are all come to 666, every one of them. Vicar of Christ comes to 666. Captain of the Clergy, the Vicar of the Son of God comes to 666. The Roman man comes to 666. The Roman Kingdom comes to that. The Latin Kingdom, the Italian Church, apostates to rebels comes to that. And I can't read that last one. But every one of them comes to that. And they also have the symbol that looks almost exactly like the writing on the pictures of Christ. And it's a Christogram. And I explained to him yesterday that this was a mistake. I think I've got that slide next. Yeah, I do. The word Christos is actually what is in the Revelation as the 666. It's the initials for Christos or Christ. And how you know that? Because it has a line up over the top, and the letters match the Christogram. It's like even the 616 is exactly the same. It doesn't matter which text you use; they both have initials for Christ. So it cannot be neuro, because we know when they have a line bar over the top of letters that's a name, and it's somebody's sacred name, like it'd be Lord God, Son of God. All those big terms they have are in Nomosaicum. Let's see. And we know that this sign and seal was used a bunch in the church The early church fathers attested to the use of the sign of the cross that was a seal or mark of Christianity. Tertullian said, "We mark our foreheads with the sign of the cross." And it says that all our travels and movements and all our comings and goings and putting on our shoes at the bath or at the table, lighting our candles, in laying down and sitting down, whatever employment occupies us, we mark our foreheads with the sign of the cross. I need just a second. I think I hear water running. Just a second.
Hopefully nothing serious.
Talk about going under attack. I'm under attack, I think. I got water dripping from the
Everything
apartment
okay?
upstairs into my kitchen. From
Is it
ceiling.
really?
Yes. I kept.
Oh no.
I thought I started hearing a drip, 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 and I thought, did Sam leave the water on? And I was like, so I checked the bathroom. It's coming from the
no.
kitchen. I'm like, wow.
Is everything going to be okay?
He's gonna go upstairs and make sure Joel and them don't have their water turned on and forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It'll probably tear up the ceiling.
Yep.
Man, I swear, when it rains, it pours. Okay, where was I? Oh, okay. Also, Saint Cyril of Jerusalem in 386, in their they said, let us not be ashamed to confess the crucified, be the cross our seal, made with boldness, by our fingers and our brow and everything over the bread we eat. So they use this on everything, and that's a part of the catechism, number 13, too. It gets even more interesting because they have it on the bread. Now, this is where it really starts becoming. And that so no man might buy or sell save he had the mark. And this is Clark's commentary on the Bible. And be considered a heretic if he doesn't have the mark. Roger, I'm sorry, this is so tiny to read. I'm going to have to blow it up so I can read it for y'all. I'm sorry, I just can't read it that small. That no man might buy or sell save he had the mark. If any, observes Bishop Newton, descend from the stated authorized forms of Christianity, they are condemned and excommunicated as a heretic, and the consequences they suffer to buy or sell are interdicted in traffic and commerce and all benefits of social society. So the Catholic Church affected buying and selling and having a mark. And it was ordered by Bull of Pope Martin V that no contract should be made with such that they should not follow any business or merchandise save that he had the mark, took the oath, and Jesus said don't take an oath, and be true to the Pope, and made a public profession of the Popish religion, or the name of the beast, the Palpist, so called from the Pope. So we have all these things, and we also have Paul. When he said, "Let nobody bother me, for I bear the marks of Christ." He literally is saying in buying and selling, when you look at the Greek word that was used. So he was like, okay, you don't bother me now. Then we have in Acts 19 where they're making people denounce one Jesus and calling them crazy when they were worshiping one Jesus, and swear an oath to the Jesus that Paul taught. And these were the Jewish, it says in there it's a Jewish vagabond exorcist. An exorcist meant somebody that extracted an oath. And they use the word adjure, and some people don't. I didn't know that meant to do an oath. I guess I'm not I'm not geared toward court stuff. Then verse 25 is pretty self-explanatory. Behold, I have warned you. I mean, he was just like, I already warned you now. Pay attention. So at the beginning of that spiel, he said, I warn you, don't be deceived. And then at this point, he says, behold, I have warned you, like he's telling you again. Wow, hit the wrong thing. Okay, in the verse 26, he says, wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth, or behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. Okay, and what I got was, therefore, if they say to you, behold, he is in the deserted or depopulated, do not come, or behold, that do not believe in the coffers or caches or cash registers. That's what I got in the modern. This one's interesting. This goes into some more of the modern stuff. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. And I don't believe that the Son of Man is actually Jesus, because if it was, I don't think everybody would be mourning in that verse where they're mourning. But what I got in here is, for as Astrape, or the lightning flashes, goes out of the rising light, and it shines for a time in the west, in this manner it is also the arrival of the presence of the Son of Man. And that's Astrape today. All these terms, they match what's going on right now. It's a communication, the cell towers. That's what they call them. It is a spiral-based signal modulation. It's a new device that can control light and unprecedented speeds at unprecedented speeds. Researchers have developed a programmable optical device for high-speed beam steering. So it's like it can literally beam like an image. It's used for multimedia communications. And they say it's going to be game-changing force in communication technology. But it's also in Matthew 24. I think we'll stop there and let everybody ask questions. What do y'all think?